Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Devour. Level up every day, countdown to Invincibility. Chapter 41. Chin Mu only has one last doubt in his mind now. Ling Chinzu, how does your family compare with Tianlu Group? Absolutely. Tianlu Group's revenue has only surpassed ours in recent years, and its current annual revenue is about 10 billion ahead of us. Ling Chinzu said bluntly. Ling Chinzu, you can be considered the second generation of rich people, right? This, Ling Chinzu was immediately asked and found it difficult to answer. Chin Mu did not wait for a reply. Based on your experience, Lu Joo casually took out 1 billion to bet. Is this kind of thing reasonable? Ling Chinzu suddenly showed a thoughtful expression after being exposed to this. If it's cultivation, I won't be stingy when it comes to resources from my family, but it won't be a lot of pocket money. 1 billion is indeed a bit outrageous. I haven't spent much money in these years, and I have only saved a small amount of 1 to 200 million. Ahem, pocket money, 1 or 200 million. Outrageous. Ling Chinzu is indeed a rich woman. But Lu Joo, it's true that he is a rich second generation, but his expenses will definitely not be as frugal as Ling Chinzu's. He can easily take out 1 billion. Outsiders may not think about the problems here, but they will only think that Lu Zhou's family is willing to give money. But Chin Mu knew that the guards at the Fierce Beast factory were robbers. Lu Joo, it's 100% the guy who stole the products from the Fierce Beast factory. Click. Chin Mu's fist immediately clenched and exploded, and murderous intent flashed in his eyes. He stole the thing, so it must be his handiwork to frame a dragon. If I hadn't just signed the contract and didn't want my mother to continue working, so I went to the treatment plant to pick her up in advance, the consequences would be unimaginable. So cruel. Even this strange movement of the beasts is most likely his handiwork. Kill and silence. Lu Joo should be familiar with it. If you've already done this to silence the security guards and hack the surveillance cameras, you probably won't care about hiring a few desperados to kill a candidate in the martial arts exam, right? What's wrong with you? Ling Chinzu looked at Chin Mu with a scary look and couldn't help but open her mouth. Phew. Chin Mu secretly breathed a sigh of relief and regained his composure. It would be great if you know who the culprit is. Report a crime. There is no evidence and it is all based on speculation. What are the chances of taking down Lu Joo, who is the leader of a group and also has the status of a warrior? Everything depends on yourself. Chin Mu would not let this guy go, but now was not the time to take action. We have to think long term. Chin Mu said calmly. It's okay, I was just thinking, shouldn't there be a reward for being first in the martial arts exam? Where can I get the reward? Ha ha ha. Guo Yue happened to come over at this moment. First place in the martial arts test, you get an S-class weapon. But you are a mind master and you don't need an S-class sword now. How about I help you replace it with 5 flying blades? S level. Okay, you can have this. Chin Mu's eyes lit up. If you say this, I won't be sleepy anymore. Certainly. When Guo Yue saw that Chin Mu had over 10,000 points, he prepared things. It was originally given as an SSS contract upgrade reward. Now it seems, is there room for improvement in contract rewards? Got 5 S-class flying blades. Looking at the material, it is obviously different from A grade. Under the light, the alloy blooms with a leisurely dark blue light. S-class flying blades are based on top-grade alloys and fused with the core of the 8th-level telepathic ferocious beast, the Green Flame Lion. Not only is it sharp, it is also more in line with the power of telepathy. It can increase the strength of telepathy masters by at least 20%. An S-class sword, worth 200 million. And the 5 S-class flying blades are worth 250 million. If Guo Yue uses a little power, it will be worth 50 million outside. The S-class flying blade is indeed good, but it is not the best for telepathy masters. Next to him, there was a sudden sound. Everyone turned their eyes, but it was Bai Qingyan. Chin Mu, you are the first place in this martial arts test, and you are also a Nian master, the most important Nian master in Wanzhong Pavilion. This green flame flying sword is given to you as a reward. Bai Qingyan waved his hand. A flying sword about a foot long appeared in front of Chin Mu. The flying sword was completely green, and its radiance was even brighter than that of an S-class flying blade. Under the sunlight, bursts of green flames seemed to cling to it. Hiss. This is Wanjian's latest limited edition flying sword, SS level. Ling Qinzu knew the goods and immediately exclaimed. In the 10,000 Merchants Alliance, there is no way to purchase this sword. It is an absolutely limited edition, and the market price is at least 3 billion. Damn it, 3 billion, just giving such a big gift. Then why are you so embarrassed? Qin Mu looked slightly embarrassed, but he calmly attached his mind power to the sword. Base. The Qing Yan sword suddenly unfolded at the moment of contact with telekinesis. There are 12 small green flame swords of different lengths separated from Kai Shu's sword body. Mother-child sword. Qin Mu was speechless. Although I knew before that the flying sword of Wanjiang Pavilion has the function of alphabet sword. But I didn't expect there to be so many 12 handles. Moreover, the lengths of the swords are different, and even the arcs are slightly different. They must be deliberately shaped like this, and there may be matching weapons and tactics behind them. Whoosh! Qin Mu was able to use his mind power to control the Qing Yan sword with a little effort. It was extremely easy, at least half as easy as using an A-level flying blade. The green flame sword is obviously longer, but it feels so light and heavy. Sharp. It is indeed a special weapon for Nianxi. Is this sword really going to be used as a martial arts test reward? Qin Mu had to ask clearly. The stuff is really good. You can ask for it for free, but there are conditions, so there is no need to negotiate. 3 billion. It used to be an astronomical figure, but looking at it now, it's not bad. It's just that if this thing is equipped with 7 or 8 handles, it will really be a bit unmanageable, but it can still be managed with 1 handle. Bai Qingyan smiled casually and said, that's natural. The emergence of a genius mind master is a good thing for Zhongcheng and Longxing. Wanjian, as a mind master force, will naturally not treat the mind master badly. Guo Yuwei's eyelids jumped wildly when he heard this. Po Xing Martial Arts School hasn't made a move yet, but Wanjian has spent the money first. Bai Qingyan waved his hand and summoned another green flame flying sword. It unfolded and then flashed. The green flame swords combined in the air and instantly turned into a long sword with a simple shape. The long sword was suspended in the air, but its momentum increased sharply. Something's wrong. Qin Mu's pupils shrank. The combined power of this green flame sword is obviously several times greater than before. Bai Qingyan looked over with praise. Not bad. After the combination of the green flame sword, combined with the advanced version of Wanjiang Pavilion's One Mind, it can perfectly integrate all the mind powers into one body, and even surpass the sum of all the mind powers of the Mind Master. Suppose the Mind Master can control 10 flying swords while distracted, and each flying sword weighs 10,000 kilograms. The green flame sword can concentrate all 10 strands of telekinesis together, exerting a power of 150,000 kilograms, with an overall increase of up to 50%. Puff! Guo Yue really couldn't bear it anymore. This is a living seduction. I didn't expect it. Bai Qingyan, you, the Bingtian royal sister who usually doesn't hesitate to use color, will be seductive today. You still did it in front of me. It's shameful. Qin Mu, Manager Bai has good intentions, just accept it. Guo Yue dodged and faced Qin Mu, blocking Bai Qingyan firmly. Then he said, the martial arts exam is over. It's time to handle your case. Let's go. I'll take you to the warrior management department first. Guo Yue took Qin Mu and left. I don't dare to stay any longer. The curator is busy and won't be able to come back for the time being. Grandmaster Wu Zhiming is present, and Bai Qingyan, the 9th level commander, is not someone to be trifled with. When the time comes, if there is a real quarrel, it will be useless no matter how loud you are. Etc. When Bai Qingyan saw this, his eyes flickered slightly, and he immediately stopped and said, Director Guo, has Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall got a spot for the command trial next month? Hiss. When Guo Yue heard this, he immediately felt like someone had hammered his head. Qin Mu looked puzzled. What trial? Ah, Bai Qingyan smiled and explained. Nianxi is an extremely special training route. Warriors also have various techniques and moves. It can be said that Nianxi relies entirely on the experience gained by seniors. You should be able to tell this from the difference in name and content of the exercises. This is true. The warriors fight 18 moves in bloody battles, while the Mind Master only has the basics. Not only are the prices hugely different, but the higher level techniques only look like that. This is probably because the number of mind masters is too small. Qin Mu guessed after thinking for a while. Yes, Bai Qingyan affirmed at first, then shook his head slightly, but it's not entirely true. There are few Nian masters, but as Nian masters, they must all be geniuses. In terms of qualifications, talent, and hard work, Nian masters are not inferior to any martial artist, and even far exceed them. There are no more techniques. It's not because the master's talent or research is insufficient, but because the master's route is too difficult. It's harder to reach the sky. Speaking of which, Bai Qingyan sighed softly and said calmly, even with the talent, realm, and cultivation of the White Sword Sect, the founder of Wanzhong Pavilion, he has only summed up a set of basic cultivation methods over the past 100 years. The basic mind master technique you learned was written by the White Sword Sect. The higher level advanced techniques, and even the uniqueness of the mind, are all written by the White Sword Sect. Damn it, so fierce. Qin Mu couldn't help but be speechless after hearing this. A basic exercise book costs 5 million, but the only thought is 1.5 billion. What the hell? Just sitting around collecting intellectual property royalties makes you incredibly rich, right? Really, as long as you write a book that is popular, you will make money. I'm afraid that if I'm a deadbeat, no one will read my bad writing, and I won't be able to earn back the ink money. Bai Qingyan saw Qin Mu's expression of surprise, thinking that he was shocked by the White Sword Sect's cultivation, and said slightly proudly. But you know what? Even if the White Sword Sect is a genius, the only skill in his heart was not created by the White Sword Sect. Grandpa just summarized what he learned to make it more suitable for Longxing Nian master to study. Hiss. When Guo Yue heard this, he also took a breath. This is just a rumor among the people, but I didn't expect it to be true. The White Sword Sect's skills were also learned from the domination trial. Bai Qingyan nodded. I don't know who built the trial of dominance, let alone how many years it has existed. There were no mind masters before Longxing, so this trial never came into being. Now, this trial only allows 10 mind masters to enter every year. My grandfather was the first mind master to find the trial, and he was also the first mind master to complete the trial. The only skill of the mind was also learned from the trial. It can be said that there is the highest secret skill of the Nian master there. Even the green flame flying sword is imitated from the Nian master weapon that was awarded in the trial. I don't think I need to say more about the importance of trials, right? Why? Guo Yue sighed in his heart. I know even if you don't tell me this later, but Zhongcheng Martial Arts School really doesn't have this quota. There are only 10 places in the entire Dragon Star. 5 belong to Wanjianj, the remaining 2 are sold by Wensheng Alliance. The last 3 are to be ranked at the Dragon Star Martial Arts Conference. Qin Mu, I originally thought it was too early for you to take charge of the trial, so I didn't say anything. Guo Yue couldn't keep it secret and turned around to explain. Wrong. Bai Qingyan frowned and shouted. The minimum entry level for the trial is Commander, and the highest is Commander level 9. Once you are promoted to Grand Master, the trial will no longer be open to you. In the past, many mind masters would wait until the 9th level of the commander before considering it. They could even hone their command abilities without breaking through. But my grandfather seems to have noticed something recently. He bluntly said that the trial should be entered when the genius is the youngest. He passed the level in his early 20s, so the reward was the best. Although the rewards for those who passed the level later were good, they did not obtain higher level rewards. Kung Fu. Shall I wipe it? Important news. This news alone is worth thousands of gold. Guo Yue just thought of this. Then there was silence again. Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall is not a super force that spans the Dragon Star like Wanzhong Pavilion. There is no fixed quota. If you want to send a genius in, you have to attend the martial arts conference yourself. But when it comes to the conference, only those at the commander level are eligible to compete for spots. This is why Guo Yue thought that Qin Mu would not be able to go this year, and would not be able to go until at least next year. That's too late. The trial starts next month. The martial arts exam month overlaps with the martial arts competition month. It is at the end of the month, and there is less than 20 days to complete the calculation. Time is all close together, there is no time. Qin Mu, if you have the idea to go early, you will participate in the martial arts conference at the end of the month. Then you will compete with all the genius masters of Dragon Star to compete for the top 3 and get the trial spot. Guo Yue finished. Judging from the historical results of martial arts conferences, it is necessary to cultivate to the 9th level as a ruler, otherwise the chances are slim. Qin Mu knew the time of the previous martial arts conferences and made some calculations in his mind. 20 days. There is absolutely no problem with the 9th level of the ruler, but the 9th level of the ruler is not a difference of 10 levels. Counting the skills, it's another 10 levels. There is no pressure for 20 more days, but it will be very difficult to do without these 20 days. Don't worry too much. When the curator comes back, I will report to the curator and try my best to help you fight for it. Guo Yue began to draw the cake skillfully. Snort. Bai Qingyan snorted secretly and said calmly, Qin Mu. Think clearly, this opportunity comes only by chance but not by chance. At the age of 18, if you can pass the level, the reward may be even better than that of your grandfather. This is not only important to you, but also to the entire group of mind masters, and even the entire Dragon Star. Wang Jianj was able to recruit so many mind masters not just by words. It's strength, Bai Qingyan said frankly. I am now at the 9th level of the commander. The rankings of Wanzhong Pavilion's competition have been released. I am one of the quotas this time. But since my grandfather said that the younger the better, it doesn't make sense for me to waste these years before entering. It's pretty big. At least, without an 18-year-old genius mind teacher, passing the trial is of greater significance. So as long as you are willing to join Wanzhong Pavilion, I can give you this place. Bai Chuya remained silent beside him. When he heard this, he was completely shocked and said, Aunt Yan, have you considered the situation? Even the quotas in Wanzhong Pavilion are not allocated arbitrarily. If you want to give it away, others will have nothing to say, but you will not be able to compete for the quota no matter what, and you will completely lose the chance of the trial. Bai Qingyan naturally thought clearly and said calmly, Chuya, after meeting my grandfather, I have no intention of going to this trial. The quota was originally intended for you. Unfortunately. Click. Bai Chuya clenched his fists, the veins on his forehead were exposed, his face was swollen and red, he lowered his head slightly and gritted his teeth and said, I'm sorry Aunt Yan, Chuya has let you down. I will fight for the quota myself. No need for Wanjian's help. I want to participate in the martial arts competition at the end of the month and use my strength to win back a spot. Qin Mu glanced at the other party in surprise. What's wrong? Are you trying to say that I rely entirely on other people's help? I will participate in the martial arts competition at the end of the month. It's just a quota. Do you think I can't get it? Qin Mu is a player without pressure. It's just a trial. If you can't get it, you really don't think much of it. Next year, even if I don't have any skills next year, I should be able to surpass the Grand Master if I force a breakthrough, right? What? Bai Qingyan almost collapsed on the spot. You have laid so many foreshadowings and spent a lot of money to build a nest, but then you come up and irritate others. Did you do it on purpose? Bai Qingyan even wanted to beat up his silly nephew on the spot. You can't do anything, and you can't eat anything without any leftovers. If you complete the task of wooing Qin Mu, I will find a place for you even if I go to my grandfather. Haha, we appreciate Director Bai's kindness. It's not too late to wait until the martial arts conference is over to talk about the trial. Guo Yue was ecstatic. No matter how, drag first. As long as he holds on, with Qin Mu's talent, it's not impossible to find a way to buy a spot. The others just watched helplessly as Guo Yue took Qin Mu into the car and drove away. Aunt Yan, don't worry. I'll be in seclusion for 20 days and try my best to develop my telekinesis. I won't have any chance of breaking through the commander. Bai Chuya saw that his aunt didn't look good, so she hurriedly patted her chest to assure her. Commander-in-Chief, is that useful? Bai Qingyan couldn't help but sigh. The commander of the 9th level. That's not a threshold, that's a restriction. How many teachers are there in the 24 cities of Dragon Star every year? There are hundreds at least, but there are only 10 places. You have to compete not only with this year's Genius Telepathy Masters, but also with the Genius Telepathy Masters from previous years. They have practiced 1, 2, or even 3 to 5 years more than you. Even me, It took me 2 years to achieve a small success in my mind before I chose to participate in the ranking battle in the Sword Pavilion. Now do you still think that the 9th level commander is useful? This. Bai Chuya's face suddenly turned livid. Zhongcheng, Warrior Management Department. This is a place dedicated to handling warrior cases. The strength of the security team is not enough to intimidate warriors above the general level. Guo Yue brought Chen Mu to the court. Opposite. He is the representative of Tianlu Ferocious Beast Treatment Plant. Lu Joo. Chen Mu recognized the frivolous young man sitting in the first place at a glance. Boom. The referee's hammer fell. Chen Mu, since the evidence you submitted is not sufficient, it is impossible to prove the illegal facts of others except Zhang Ji. At the same time, you abused force, causing 1 death and 5 serious injuries. You also died on the way to the hospital. Death. As usual, it was an abuse of force and negligent death. The verdict is as follows. Compensate the Tianlu Ferocious Beast Treatment Plant for mental damages, reputational damage, and lost production costs, totaling 470 million credit points. Compensate the dead, each with 50 million credits. Sentenced to 30 years of hunting in the wild. The minimum hunting time per year is no less than 10 months. The minimum number of ferocious beasts surrendered per year is no less than 1,000. The average level of the ferocious beast surrendered must not be lower than his own cultivation level. What's the situation? Didn't Guo Yue say it was handled well? Is that how it was handled? Opposite. The corners of Lu Zhou's mouth raised slightly, revealing a proud look. Guo Yue stood up with a bang, his eyes full of anger. Chief Judge Li, I came here a few days ago. Isn't this what the case document says? He died in the hospital. Those security guards lost most of their arms and legs in the video. Can't they be saved? They can even reattach the severed limbs right now. Are you telling me that this will lead to death? Ahem. The chief referee snorted coldly and struck the alloy hammer. Director Guo, this is the warrior tribunal, and we need evidence. What you said about the security guard being silenced is not supported by any evidence. Hiss. Guo Yue became angry immediately. In the ambulance, several people died on the spot, and they were cremated directly without even going to the hospital. This is not called silencing. What is silencing? All the smart devices of the ambulance crews were damaged, and all the recordings and videos were destroyed. Isn't this evidence? You should know what's going on without checking, right? The referee's eyebrows were gloomy. 1 person died, many were seriously injured, and there is a video archive. This is called evidence. Several people died on the way to the hospital. This is evidence. Director Guo, are you going to teach me how to judge what evidence is? Or are you going to let me read you the warrior code on the spot? Or, are Director Guo planning to demonstrate your cultivation in the tribunal? Moment. Guo Yue's face darkened, his brows furrowed as he said, the warrior tribunal, of course, has the right to make judgments. But the facts of this case are clear. The Tianlu Ferocious Beast Treatment Plant was in charge of self-stealing, framing the blame, and abusing lynching. Chen Mu was found and dealt with on the spot. Several security guards in the video, including the staff member, were actually accomplices in the crime. Even if they were killed on the spot, it would only be excessive defense at best. Dong dong. One last reminder, this is the warrior tribunal. The chief referee shouted coldly. The property theft at the Tianlu Ferocious Beast Treatment Plant is an economic case and is not within the scope of our office's review. If you have any questions about the case, you can ask the security team. Pass the buck. Bang. Guo Yue could no longer suppress his anger. He smashed the table in front of him with a palm from behind, and his whole body exploded with strength. An evil aura that he had experienced in fighting for many years overflowed instantly. It's not my first time coming to the court, but this is the first time I've seen this kind of judgment today. Li Chengguang, how much benefit have you received from the Tianlu group? How dare you be so bold as to ignore the facts and make random judgments? The chief referee's face suddenly turned livid. Guo Yue, do you know that you are defying the court? I have the right to take you down on the spot. Get out. Guo Yue spat out. How dare you challenge me? What kind of competition are you? You have never left the city since the martial arts test, and you dare to show off in front of me. While I was killing ferocious beasts, you were still at home wrapping up your clothes. Damn thing. You have been the referee for several years. You let the lord fool you and you are so bold, aren't you? Damn it, Chin Mu has been silent because it is not appropriate for him to speak on this occasion. Firstly, he didn't understand, and secondly, it was so much that it was even difficult for Guo Yue to handle. Just having a professional speak out is enough. But who would have thought that Director Guo had quite a temper, and even he was shocked when he suddenly exploded. Boom! Guo Yue kicked the table debris on the floor, and the wooden fragments were directly shaken into powder by the powerful force in the air. Li Chengguang, what did Tianlu Group tell you? What did it promise? Did he say that Chin Mu was the first in this year's martial arts exam? Did he say that Chin Mu is the most talented mind master this year in Zhongcheng, and even in the entire 24 cities of Dragon Star? Did he tell you that Bai Qingyan even claimed that Chin Mu's talent was comparable to that of the White Sword sect back then? You damn thing, you don't know anything and you dare to play this trick with me. You're dead. I said so. Let's see. Suddenly, Guo Yue looked at Chin Mu. Don't worry about him, let's go. Naturally, Chin Mu would not refuse, and the two of them left directly. Until then, the surrounding guards had not reacted, and no one made any move. Originally, the warriors' tribunal in Zhongcheng. Of course the warriors guarding here are all from Zhongcheng. Coming from Zhongcheng and not joining other forces, naturally most of them came from Zhongcheng Martial Arts School. Do they know Guo Yue? Do they dare to touch Guo Yue? Li Chengguang was completely stunned. In his mind, he never expected such a change. More than 10 years, he has been in the tribunal for such a long time. Not to mention seeing, not even hearing, anyone dared to openly confront the tribunal. Somebody come. Guo Yue despises the tribunal, take it down for me. Ha ha. Guo Yue sneered immediately after hearing this. Take me, let me see who dares to move. In the tribunal, 4 guards looked extremely ugly and said forcefully. Director Guo, the rules of the tribunal are recognized by the federal government. It's difficult for us to do this. Difficult to do. Guo Yue looked back sideways. Rules. Let me tell you what the rules of the tribunal are. First, even if the tribunal's decision is irrefutable, people should have the right to appeal. This is the rule. Second, when the tribunal encounters doubtful cases, it must be reported to the Zhongcheng Warriors Alliance before it can be convicted. This is the rule. Chin Mu has my Zhongcheng Martial Arts School as my guarantee. I want to take him away. Who dares to stop him today? The words fell. The guard immediately stopped where he was and stopped talking. Ha ha, what a surprise. At this time, a mocking voice sounded, and Lu Joo leaned over and looked at the chief referee. Since when can everyone guarantee someone to leave without the consent of the court? This is called a rule. Sorry, I really don't understand. Besides, isn't this threatening the guards with force and ignoring the authority of the tribunal? Isn't it true that the tribunal's force is not enough? If necessary, our Tianlu group can help at any time. Boom, bang bang. Li Chengguang wanted to smash the hammer in his hand. Guo Yue, our office has made a verdict, and you will never take him away. Come on, notify the Warrior Alliance Law Enforcement Team. Snort. Guo Yue looked nonchalant. Chin Mu, someone wants to notify the law enforcement team. We really just have to wait for the law enforcement team to come and then we can talk slowly. Li Chengguang, do you know the contact information of the law enforcement team? Do you want me to call you? Hiss. You. Li Chengguang stared at Guo Yue dumbfounded. He really couldn't understand why Guo Yue was acting crazy today. Law enforcement team. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is the highest force in Zhongcheng. The reason why the law can be the law must be able to shock all lawbreakers and treat them equally. If warriors break the law, they must be able to catch and suppress them. Even a grandmaster cannot escape punishment. The force in the tribunal is not high, and the guards, case handlers, and investigators are at most military general level. But the law enforcement team is a permanent member of the Warriors Alliance. The lowest level is a grandmaster, and there are even great masters. No warrior can escape from the hands of the law enforcement team. Okay, don't think you can get away without running. There's no way you can show contempt for the authority of the tribunal. Li Chengguang stared at the two of them fiercely. Time passed by, and a few minutes later, 2 figures rushed into the court almost at the same time. Chin Mu took a look. Damn, that looks familiar. It was no one else. It was Bai Qingyan who just said goodbye, and Wu Jiming from Boxing Martial Arts School. The two of them glanced around the field, their eyes full of doubts. What's the situation? Wu Jiming didn't understand it for a while. Li Chengguang pointed at Chin Mu and gritted his teeth and said, Master Wu, this Chin Mu is a repeat offender in a major case and intends to escape from the court. And this Guo Yue is even more contemptuous of the court, relying on his identity to intimidate the guards with force, which is a heinous crime. Ah, Wu Jiming thought there was something wrong with his ears. Bai Qingyan looked at Chin Mu in surprise. A serious crime. Didn't you just take the martial arts exam? What did you commit? Li Chengguang snorted coldly. He broke into the ferocious animal treatment plant, killed one person on the spot, seriously injured 5 others, and died on the way to the hospital. Hiss. Wu Jiming frowned. His expression instantly turned cold. He looked at Guo Yue and shouted coldly, seriously. Guo Yue didn't say a word and directly used the projector to play Chin Mu's first video. The main camera of the high-level battle suit has a clear picture and clear sound. Just a few minutes. The video has finished playing. Guo Yue then spoke calmly. I only want to say 2 points. First, the ferocious beast processing plant discovered that dozens of tons of products were stolen. Instead of reporting the crime, they arrested an ordinary employee with no cultivation and used lynching to interrogate him. Secondly, the 5 injured people all had traumatic injuries. The video of all the injuries was clearly visible, and the ambulance arrived within 10 minutes. However, within 15 minutes, they all died. They were cremated without any inspection. Even the ashes were not found. Well, one last addition. The selfless Judge Li sentenced Chin Mu to 30 years of hunting time and compensated him with hundreds of millions of credits. What? Bai Qingyan was surprised and said, Are you kidding me? The person in the video is a security guard, right? Even if he is not a warrior, he is close to a warrior. His physical fitness is twice that of ordinary people. How many minutes did he die after his hands and feet were cut off? Or did he die in the ambulance? And they're all dead. Boom. Li Chengguang immediately jumped into the case and said, Guo Yue. As I said, the beast treatment plant was an economic case. Now the evidence of Chin Mu's murder is conclusive, and our verdict is notarized and correct. It was you who openly defied the tribunal and intimidated the tribunal guards in order to help Chin Mu escape guilt. Wu Jiming's eyebrows wrinkled tighter and tighter. It is not the scope of the law enforcement team to resolve cases. The enforcement team is only responsible for enforcement. But right now, the verdict is indeed a bit outrageous. Has the death of the 5 security guards been found out? Who did it? Snapped. Guo Yue stretched out his hand and applauded. That's right. This is the point. Not only did the person who committed the crime be silenced, but he also hacked the cloud server. When did Zhongcheng have such a powerful force? I didn't even get a hint of it. Did not hear. You can all see Chin Mu's situation. Before awakening, their family was in arrears with rent. Li Cheng's face turned red and her eyes were swollen. How many times have I told you that it is an economic case and will not be investigated by this firm? Grandmaster Wu, Chin Mu's verdict is as follows. Regardless of whether he appeals or not, he must be imprisoned. Guo Yue is in contempt of the court. He will also be imprisoned and awaits judgment. After a while, Wu Jiming and Bai Qingyan still didn't move. What's the situation? Li Chengguang was a little dull. Aren't all the law enforcement teams not enforcing the law? Lu Zhou's eyes narrowed at this moment, and he said with a strange tone. Chief referee, you may not know that Chin Mu is a genius telepathic master and is favored by various forces. Now it seems that geniuses are really privileged. Boom. Wu Jiming remained motionless, but the entire court hall trembled instantly. Presumptuous. Are you questioning whether I can protect you? Lu Joo shrugged slightly. Don't dare. How dare I question the Grand Master? Li Chengguang was suddenly enlightened. If you are unwilling to stop, we will report the truth to the city lord. Guo Yue took the lead and said, Okay, go directly to the city lord. Moment. Li Chengguang's expression changed. The city lord is the director of the Zhongcheng Martial Arts Gym. I don't think it's appropriate, so I'd better report it directly to the Warriors Alliance. Okay, sign up now. Lu Joo clicked on the smartphone and reported the emergency to the Warriors Alliance first. Qin Mu really couldn't understand it at this moment. A small case alarmed the Grand Master, the law enforcement team, and the City Lord, and it wasn't even enough. We also need to report it to the Warriors Alliance. Director Guo, what kind of organization is the Warriors Alliance? Qin Mu had heard of this name, but he never knew that this organization was capable of even surpassing the City Lord. Lu Yoo whispered. You have just become a warrior, so it is normal for you not to know yet. After all warriors pass the assessment, they will automatically join the Warriors Alliance. This alliance covers all warriors in Dragon Star. In incidents involving warriors, the Warriors Alliance has the highest authority, surpassing the Federation and its subordinate city lords and other institutions. In the Warriors Alliance, warriors are ordinary members, generals are silver members, and grandmasters are gold members. Gold members can become standing members of each city through election. Beyond federal authority, is this the power of Warriors United? Or, warriors are the ones who really call the shots in Longxing? Qin Mu fell into deep thought. Lu Yoo, who was standing next to him, seemed to understand Qin Mu's thoughts. Haha, are you a little surprised? Warrior, he is the master of Dragon Star. We live and die for Dragon Star, why should we leave our destiny to a group of pigheads sitting in the city enjoying the results? Hiss. It's really domineering. While the two were talking, Bai Qingyan thought for a long time, and after reviewing the case, he finally said, based on my current understanding, I question the outcome of this judgment. Although Wu Jiming had some grudges with Lu Yoo. But this is a matter involving warriors. If someone dares to use all his strength to frame the warrior, he can no longer involve his personal grudges. Because they can frame ordinary warriors today, and masters tomorrow. If you don't speak up for the warrior will be swayed by power sooner or later. On behalf of Boxing Martial Arts School, I question this verdict. Don't talk to me about economic cases. Since warriors are involved, they must be investigated together. It is true that Qin Mu committed murder, but that was a special situation under special conditions. For the other 5, he only injured, not fatally. Now the tribunal is forcing the lives of those 5 people on Qin Mu. The Warriors Alliance cannot accept this verdict. Hiss, Li Chengguang exclaimed. You are crazy. Do you even want the law enforcement team to openly defy the tribunal? Do you also want to be sent to jail? As soon as these words came out, Wu Jiming and Bai Qingyan burst out with murderous intent at the same time. Are you the one who's crazy? Who told you that the Inquisition can override the Warriors Alliance? Bastard thing. The power of the tribunal is given by the Warriors Alliance, by the warriors. The judgment rejected by the Warriors Alliance is invalid. The Warriors Alliance said that the case should be consolidated and investigated thoroughly, so it must be consolidated and investigated thoroughly by me. As soon as these words came out, even the guards at the Inquisition looked excited. They were really in trouble just now. Grandmaster Wu is right. If a discerning person sees a case with problems, how can he just make a decision without investigating it thoroughly? We warriors are not easy to bully either. Killing people and silencing them, without any investigation, just pinning them on the warrior's head. Why? Moment. The situation in the court was no longer under Li Chengguang's control. He didn't even dare to talk back. Lu Joo was so frightened that his heart beat wildly. Combined investigation. You won't find anything, right? Think of this. Lu Joo stood up suddenly. The financial disputes at the Ferocious Beast Treatment Plant are our Tianlu Group's business and do not need outsiders to intervene. Lu Yoo suddenly burst into sneer. Are you afraid now? I tell you, it's too late. I don't care what benefits you gave Li Chengguang, the Warriors Alliance can find them out for you, hacker. Hehe, I want to see if hackers have the ability to overpower warriors. Usually, no one cares about the black spot data and no one asks about it. Now you even dare to touch the data related to warriors. I think you are getting bolder and bolder. Bai Qingyan also looked solemn after listening. Yes, the hacker incident must be investigated clearly. If it hadn't happened today, I wouldn't have known that there would be problems with the data uploaded by daily monitoring. If this happens in the future, even if the warrior is bullied, don't dare to fight back, because warriors are also deeply afraid of being framed. If things continue like this, Even warriors will not dare to resist oppression, and even warriors will be afraid of trouble. If warriors are cowardly, then humanity will be in danger. Lu Joo was stunned for a moment. You are talking nonsense. Why, what qualifications do you have to investigate our Tianlu group? The Warriors Alliance. Can the Warriors Alliance ignore the law? Contempt was evident on the faces of Wu Jiming and others. The appearance of someone like you in the warrior team is simply a shame to the warriors. Lu Joo was shocked by the Grandmaster's aura, and his lips turned white with fear. Several imposing figures strode towards the door. Second uncle, Lu Joo exclaimed, his face full of joy. Second uncle, you came just in time. These people want to investigate our Tianlu group for no reason. Snort. Lu Tian snorted coldly and scanned the entire audience with his stern eyes. Check our Tianlu group. Who dares? Wu Jiming and Bai Qingyan looked shocked at the same time. Lu Tian, whether to investigate the Tianlu group or not is the decision of the Warriors Alliance, not yours. Wu Jiming groaned. Lu Tian looked arrogant, as if he didn't buy Wu Jiming's fault at all. Can you represent the Warriors Alliance? Why do you need to use the Warriors Alliance to solve a case? Are we standing members so idle? When Wu Jiming heard this, his eyebrows furrowed and his face became as heavy as iron. Lu Tian has been famous for a long time. He is a 9th-level master and has advanced cultivation. He is indeed qualified to be proud of himself. But these, Bai Qingyan didn't care at all. The case of a low-level warrior is not a case. If I can frame a low-level warrior today, I can frame you tomorrow. As a warrior and a standing member of the Warriors Alliance, Grandmaster Lu should consider his own interests or the interests of the warriors. One sentence. He didn't save Lu Tian any face at all. The corners of Lu Tian's eyes twitched slightly, and he looked at Bai Qingyan with a fierce look. Good. The people of the Bai family are really brave. You want to investigate our Tianlu group for a small case, right? Yes. Then call a joint meeting of warriors and vote. Finished. Lu Tian ignored everyone present, threw up his sleeves and left. Lu Joo quickly chased after him. Wu Jiming looked gloomy and could not see any details. He glanced at the crowd and said, "Heard everything. This case is suspended, waiting for the final decision of the Warriors Alliance." Li Chengguang's face was full of disbelief. Even if we have to wait for the Warriors Alliance, the verdict has been issued. Qin Mu cannot leave, and Guo Yue must be arrested. Wu Jiming smiled. Lu Tian was at the 9th level of Grandmaster just now, so he didn't care if he didn't give him face. Nowadays, even a military commander with no skill level dares to challenge himself. Has the world changed? Idiot, you are also one of the subjects of the investigation. You are suspended immediately pending investigation. Li Chengguang's eyes were stunned. Why do you suspend me? Wu Jiming shouted angrily. I am a standing member of the Zhongcheng Warriors Alliance. Except for the city lord, any official in Zhongcheng must be suspended for investigation as long as the 3 standing members agree. Bai Qingyan said calmly, count me in. Wu Jiming. With 1 vote from Zhongcheng Martial Arts School, that's enough. Suspend him pending investigation. Finished. Wu Jiming turned and left. Li Chengguang's smartphone suddenly popped up a prompt. Hey, Li Chengguang, you have been suspended from the Warriors Alliance. Please put down all matters in your hands immediately and investigate later. Single quote. Attention, do not leave the city during the investigation and do not come into contact with all persons related to the case, otherwise you will be severely punished. Single quote. Really? How could Li Chengguang have imagined that an ordinary case could lead to him being suspended on the spot and subject to investigation? Even, no need for permission from the Warrior Management Department to directly investigate across all levels. Is this the power of the Warriors Alliance? Zhongcheng, Lu family. Lu Joo couldn't help complaining. Second uncle, why does his Warrior Alliance directly investigate our group? Snort. Lu Tian looked gloomy. In Dragon Star, the Warrior Alliance is the sky. Whether you have any problems or not, the Warriors Alliance can investigate you for no reason. Lu Joo was stunned. Does the Warriors Alliance have no laws? Law. Lu Tian sneered. The law is for ordinary people. Lu Joo immediately said nervously. Second uncle, the theft of the treatment plant is still a small matter. If there is really a comprehensive investigation, then the source of our ferocious beasts, I'm afraid. You don't have to worry about this matter. The Warriors Alliance will vote on it, and I will prevent the proposal from passing. Before Lu Joo could be happy, Lu Tian shouted coldly. But, the chief referee you bribed this time must be dealt with. Also, that Qin Mu cannot be kept. Genius telepathy teacher, keeping him here will be a disaster. Lu Joo rolled his eyes and wondered. Second uncle, I made arrangements for the martial arts exam, but even the third-level beast group couldn't tear him apart. With the manpower I have in the city now, I'm afraid I can't handle him. Martial artists always have to leave the city. Lu Tian's eyes flashed with murderous intent. Keep an eye on him and let me know when he leaves the city. Yes. Tribunal. Qin Mu looked at Guo Yue. Now, is this over? Of course not, Guo Yue affirmed. But don't worry, the Warrior Alliance is dispatched. Even if it overthrows Zhongcheng, there must be a result. It's just that these days, you still can't move around. Why not stay in the martial arts gym? There is a training room there anyway. Qin Mu didn't care. Live wherever you go. Bai Qingyan suddenly rolled his eyes at this moment and stepped forward. The case will be taken over by the Warriors Alliance. As the main person, Qin Mu must be interrogated. Not only must it be investigated, but it must also be under the supervision of the Warriors Alliance. Yeah, Guo Yue had no objection to this. Qin Mu will be in the martial arts training room, and the Alliance can come at any time. Then let's go, Bai Qingyan said simply. The group returned to Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall. On the road, Qin Mu sent a message to Yongling and Xiaoyun. Arrive at the training room. Guo Yue was just about to speak when he looked up and saw that Bai Qingyan hadn't left yet. Director Bai, what are you? Bai Qingyan sat down on the sofa and said calmly, didn't I say that the Warriors Alliance wants to monitor Qin Mu? Puff. Guo Yue almost spat out blood. You. No, Director Bai, you are a gold member of the Warriors Alliance after all. Do you need to take action on such a trivial matter? Ah, little things. Bai Qingyan rolled his eyes and glanced. Tianlu Group is not only one of the best in Zhongcheng, it is at least among the top 3. According to the news from the Wansheng Alliance, Lucian Group intends to enter the decision-making level this year. It is said that the hope is very high. Also, Lu Tian is a 9th-level master, ranking among the top 100 in the Dragon Star Grandmaster rankings. You told me this is a trivial matter. Grandmaster ranking. Qin Mu had never heard of this list. In the past, when I was in school, I would discuss with my classmates which master was stronger or weaker, but that was just nonsense among students, and there was no accurate ranking. Grandmasters are ranked in the top 100, so they should be very strong, right? Compared to Grandmaster Wu. Bai Qingyan said lightly, of course Lu Tian is stronger. Didn't you see that Wu Jiming was holding back just now? Damn it, better than Wu Jiming. Lu Tian's strength is not among those closest to the Grandmaster. Qin Mu was a little surprised, but the next second, that's not right. If Lu Tianjun really wants to deal with me, Manager Bai is here, it seems. Huh, Bai Qingyan couldn't help but snort when he heard the words, raised his eyebrows and said, what? Are you worried that I can't protect you? No need to. Although I am not in the top 100 in the Grandmaster rankings, I can be in the top 50 anytime I want. In actual combat, I can deal with the land and sky without any pressure. Bai Qingyan Grandmaster ranking, top 50. Qin Mu was even more confused. But, I remember, Manager Bai, you said that your cultivation level is not the 9th level of the Commander-in-Chief. Well, Guo Yue let out a long cry. The actual combat ability measured in the Grandmaster rankings is symbolized by ferocious beasts. The Nianshi's actual combat ability not only allows him to challenge powerful people in single combat, but he can also fight across levels. Director Bai ranked first in the martial arts exam back then and was the best among the genius telegraph masters. Now it is no problem to fight with the 9th level Grandmaster. As long as the Grandmaster does not appear, Director Bai has always been stress-free. Yu Bai Qingyan provides personal protection. This kind of blessing, the whole Zhongcheng. No, I'm afraid no one in the entire Dragon Star would refuse. All warriors would never dare to do this in their dreams or even think about it. But Guo Yue felt as uncomfortable as eating a turtle. Of course it's great that Director Bai is here, but as far as the eye can see from this training room, there aren't even 2 beds to rest on. I'm afraid it's not very suitable. How about I arrange a room next door for you, Director Bai? Bai Qingyan looked indifferent. Qin Mu is just a child. The bed is so big, it's okay for me to sleep with him in my arms at night. Puff. This time, Qin Mu really couldn't hold it in any longer. Ahem, Director Bai, I'm really not a child. And if you look at Manager Bai, he's not that old. He's only 2 years older than Ling Qinzu at most. Phew. When Bai Qingyan heard this, he immediately covered his mouth and smiled. You're young, but your mouth is good at talking. Chuya calls me Aunt Bai. You are with him for the first time. Is there any problem with calling me auntie? Well, it seems that there is a difference in seniority. But Qin Mu didn't think so. No, that's Bai Chuya's problem, it has nothing to do with me. HMPH, it's not up to you. Bai Qingyan turned his face instantly and said coldly and proudly. If a 9th level Grandmaster were to attack you in a sneak attack, it would only take a second to kill you. Finished. Bai Qingyan looked at Guo Yue. Do you have anything else to say? If not, hurry up and get out. I still have something to ask Qin Mu. Depend on. Guo Yue cursed secretly in his heart. Are you trying to drive me away from Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall? You are using chicken feathers as arrows. Guo Yue scolded him in his heart, but he couldn't say that with his mouth. Competing with Wu Jiming is because of official business and cannot be compromised. Say it again. Wu Jiming has just been promoted to Grandmaster. He will have a chance to break through to Grandmaster by the end of the year, which is not too far off. Facing Bai Qingyan, even if he was promoted to Grandmaster, he still couldn't be stubborn. Ahem. Guo Yue could only pull Qin Mu to the other side of the training room. These days, you practice first, and the SSS contract will upgrade you when the curator comes back. Qin Mu was not in a hurry about the contract. Now I have a green flame flying sword, and I also have 5S level flying blades. With a capital of about 1.3 billion, combat uniforms are affordable. But the skills. This money is not enough. Director Guo, are there any exercises included in the SSS contract? No, Guo Yue replied. The SSS contract has a half-price discount and more training room resources. The most important thing is that it has 2 billion funds, half of which can be used to purchase exercises. Tisk, that's not enough. Qin Mu frowned. The only one I want is 1.5 billion, which is half the price of 750 million. What else is there? Don't you want to learn anything? What? Guo Yue was shocked. You want to learn Shen Nian Yui now? Isn't it possible? Qin Mu asked back. Hiss. Guo Yue took a breath of cold air. I will use my personal authority to send you all the masterminding skills first. Then I want to send them to you for reimbursement, so as not to waste your own funds. Save 1 billion at once. Earn money for free. Of course Qin Mu would have no objection. Guo Yue glanced at Bai Qingyan on the sofa and finally said. Qin Mu, be careful. You must know that the more beautiful a woman is, the more likely she is to lie. Bai Qingyan is so good looking, I'm afraid I can't believe a word of her words. Also, don't look at her always taking advantage of her seniors. It's just because she is senior in the Bai family. In fact, she is only 22 years old this year. Ahem. Bai Qingyan suddenly coughed twice. Guo Yue's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. Hey, that's all I have to say, you must be careful. Shall I wipe it? Is this a venomous snake? That's so scary. Qin Mu was dubious. Director Guo, is she protecting me? She won't kill me, right? Oh, that's not the case. Guo Yue patted Qin Mu hard, leaving you with a cautious look in his eyes, and then left the training room. It's not that he wants to leave. But if he didn't leave, Bai Qingyan's flying sword would probably hit someone. Qin Mu, Bai Qingyan said directly. It's too early for you to learn Shen Nian now. It's not because I'm afraid you won't be able to learn it, but it's just a waste of time. Qin Mu was shocked. Did you hear what I just said? Otherwise, Bai Qingyan rolled his eyes. Basic application of telekinesis. As long as you concentrate, you can expand your perception to the place where telekinesis can reach. With my level of cultivation, even mosquitoes within a radius of 1 kilometer can hear clearly. Damn it, Guo Yue, I'm afraid you're going to suffer a lot. I can't save you. Bai Qingyan continued. The only use of mindfulness is to concentrate all the mindfulness power of the mindfulness master on one point. Since it's concentration, the more thought power there is, the greater the power. I now control the 9 flying blades with all my strength, and can branch out to up to 27 flying blades. After uniting my mind, I can unleash an attack up to 15 times greater. Hiss. Sharp. When Qin Mu was learning the exercises before, the mind teacher who explained them should not be as good as Bai Qingyan. Right now, I am controlling 3 blades with all my strength. I should be able to branch out to 9 flying blades at most. Any more and I will lose control. Bai Qingyan showed a look of appreciation. It's really outstanding to be able to do this in just a few days. But the only thing about mind is that it is extremely difficult to practice. If you have time to spend on it, it is better to practice the advanced skills of Mind Master. At the ruler stage, you can cultivate 5-handed flying blades with full power. Only in this way can you have the opportunity to reach 9-handed when you are promoted to ruler. Quote. On the experience of cultivating a mind teacher. Of course Qin Mu wouldn't say more than Bai Qingyan, so he didn't refute. Master, you have an email. Xiao Yi reminded in his ear. Guo Yue's movements were not slow, and his skills were already in place. At the same time, the customer service outside the door also sent an S-class battlesuit and 20 A-class flying blades. Ah, Bai Qingyan saw the level of the battlesuit and joked leisurely. You know how to save your life. Unfortunately, facing a grandmaster, even an S-class battlesuit cannot save your life. The warrior is not skilled enough and his health is too weak. One blow can kill you. Qin Mu pretended not to hear it at all. Wear it even if it's useless. Wouldn't it be worse not to wear it? He picked up his combat uniform and went to the bathroom to change. Hey, you're a kid, why are you changing your clothes and running? Bai Qingyan wondered. Qin Mu was really angry, gritted his teeth and said, Director Bai, I am really not a child anymore. If you show it, it will scare you to death. Ha ha. Bai Qingyan looked indifferent. You are only 18 years old. You know, the lifespan of a warrior is 200 to 300 years. At most, you are just weaned. Speechless, Qin Mu didn't bother to break it off, so he changed into battle clothes and came out. While projecting the advanced skills of the Mind Master, he also controlled the flying blade practice. Advanced skills mainly increase the number of commanders, as well as some additional combat methods. The basic technique focuses more on telekinesis and controlling the accuracy of the flying blade. There are 6 levels of basic skills to build a foundation. The progress this time was very fast, and Qin Mu felt that there was no need to spend several days to understand it before. System. If I want to be promoted to commander, is level 6 of the advanced technique enough? Qin Mu suddenly thought of the requirement to upgrade. Open black lens bracket ding. It is enough for the same level of skills to exceed 50% level. Close black lens bracket. What if it's a higher level skill? I am the commander now. If I directly learn the commander's techniques, do I still need level 6? Open black lens bracket unnecessary. Close black lens bracket. Host, please note that high-level skills are definitely better than low-level skills. Only at this stage, if the quality of the exercises you learn is average, there will be situations where high-level exercises cannot cover low-level exercises. Close black lens bracket. What's the meaning? Qin Mu thought it was pretty good at first, but the next second he was stunned by the system. The quality of my skills is average. Advanced skills, are they still average? Not average, but quite inferior. Reluctantly, very reluctantly, it is called the ruler level skill. Close black lens bracket. Puff. Qin Mu almost spit out blood. I studied excitedly for a long time, but ended up learning rubbish. What about this one? Qin Mu turned on the mall projection, looked at Xin Yan and asked. Open black lens bracket ding. The quality of skills is divided into ordinary, excellent, rare, legendary and mythical. Close black lens bracket. Nianshi's advanced skills are the lowest quality among ordinary ones. The only thought in your mind should be considered excellent, but the one in your mind should not be complete and can only be considered to be close to excellent. Close black lens bracket. Speechless. Chin Mu didn't hear anything else. He just heard the system saying that this was the only thing in his mind. Damn it, it was incomplete. Nausea. I was really disgusted. The disadvantage is that there is no money spent. If this costs money, not to be disgusted to death. 1.5 billion. Think about the Nyen teachers outside. If there is no discount, the full amount of 1.5 billion can be withdrawn. The result is that he was castrated and incomplete. What the hell? Do you have the desire to die? Who did it? Chin Mu thought of this, suddenly raised his head and caught a glimpse of Bai Qingyan on the sofa opposite. She's said it before. The techniques are all provided by the White Sword sect, and their source is the domination trial. Since that trial can give away skills, you won't give away a castrated version, right? There is a high probability that the White Sword sect did it. He wants to make money. But he didn't want to reveal the core of the technique. Good. It's really dark. Huh? Bai Qing asked what level he was at. Chin Mu stared at him for 3 seconds. His eyes were still a bit wrong, and he immediately sensed, what do you want to say? Chin Mu changed his mind and said directly, the only thing in Zhongcheng Martial Arts School's mind is also sold by Wanzhong Pavilion, right? Yes, Bai Qingyan said sincerely. 800 million, a unified licensing price. It shouldn't cost you anything, right? You shouldn't need to worry about this. Okay, even the incomplete technique can be sold for 800 million, which is a huge profit. Chin Mu shrugged angrily. What? When Bai Qingyan heard this, he immediately stood up in confusion. You. Where did you hear this? Chin Mu projected his thoughts uniquely. I'm not blind, and my skills are all incomplete. How could I not know? Hiss. Bai Qingyan froze instantly. Is it possible to see that the skills are incomplete with the naked eye? Such confidential information was only known to her after she was promoted to commander and the only one who got the complete version of Xin Nian. On Dragon Star, as long as they are not the core members of Wanzhong Pavilion. The only mind that has been learned after castration is the part of the mind that is unified and the governing mind power is unified. The rest of the mind power training in the ruler stage are all in the hands of Wanjianj. Wanjianj will not sell incomplete exercises. That would be harmful to people. If you insist on thinking this way, Wanjianj will definitely pursue your legal responsibility. Bai Qingyan knew that the matter was important. For hundreds of years. How many copies of Xinyanwei have been sold? If someone were to be castrated by a martial arts technique, the consequences would be unimaginable. No matter what, this matter cannot be acknowledged. Don't be so nervous, Chin Mu said with a smile. I take back what I just said. Theoretically, there is a better commanding technique besides the only one in the mind. There should be one in Wanzhong Pavilion, right? Do you want to sell it? Bai Qingyan suddenly felt much more comfortable. Obviously it was just a different statement, but the nature of the incident immediately changed. The former is the strict technique of Wanzhong Pavilion, which harms the Mind Master. The latter is that Wanzhong Pavilion has a secret Tongyu Envoy technique. Isn't this normal? Even if you tell him, other Mind Masters won't say anything. Instead, they will be even more eager to join Wanzhong Pavilion. Little guy, your mouth is so sweet. Bai Qingyan smiled softly and said, you want my Wanzhong Pavilion's secret technique, right? Can. As long as you join Wanjianj, I guarantee that you can learn all the techniques. Tisk. It's impossible to betray the master just for the sake of this skill. Qin Mui said righteously. I can join Wanjianj today for 1 book, and defect from Wanjianj tomorrow for another book. Do you think this kind of person is worth taking in? Qin Mu's words were sonorous and he spoke from his heart. If nothing else, just because of Guo Yue's ability to support him in the tribunal, it would be impossible for Qin Mu to leave Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall. Bai Qingyan couldn't help but be stunned after hearing this. She had to admit that what Qin Mu said made sense. No way. Keep it secret, literally, you know. Qin Mu smiled. Make a change. Money doesn't matter, but maybe something else does. I can guarantee that only I will learn the technique, and no one else will know about it. You can mention the price, but I can help Wanjianj with 3 things at most. I won't do more than that. Hiss. Bai Qingyan immediately changed his expression and looked at Qin Mu. Where does this little guy get his confidence? For 3 things, you have to use Wanjianj's unique technique. Do you think you are a great master? Moment. Bai Qingyan could see the absolute confidence in Qin Mu's eyes. He immediately pondered and said, "Are you so sure that you can be promoted to Grand Master?" Chin Mu shrugged slightly. "You may not believe it, but I can. Grand Master is not something too difficult. You will become a Grand Master within a year." Mad, proud, or overconfidence, or is he truly extremely talented? Bai Qingyan couldn't even tell the difference for a while. A little bit. Chin Mu's talent is so high that it scares her. "You, don't be impatient." Bai Qingyan took a deep breath and said slowly. "It's still early. You have just become a ruler. If you don't learn the advanced skills, it will be difficult for you to achieve your goals." Full version. No, it's a unique skill that is extremely difficult to practice. If you don't have 1 or 2 years, it will be difficult to achieve anything. Tisk. Chin Mu was slightly speechless. Just because others can't do it, doesn't mean I can't do it. As for whether you want to practice or not, I will naturally make my own decision. Bai Qingyan is very strong. But Chin Mu believed in the system more. This is so possible. Bai Qingyan laughed suddenly, covering her red lips, laughing until her waist trembled, and her tight-fitting cheongsam could hardly wrap up the proud towering snow-capped mountains. Even for me, it took me 2 full years to achieve the only success in my mind. Chin Mu rolled his eyes. "Do you want to bet?" "What bet?" "Within a month, the skill will be completed." Chin Mu thought to himself. Even if it's difficult to learn, it's okay to practice to level 1 in 10.5 months, right? When the time comes, just add points to upgrade and securely win. 1 month. Bai Qingyan was stunned for a moment and said without thinking, "Okay, what do you want to bet?" "Are you betting that you will join Wanjianj?" No problem. Bai Qingyan thought he heard wrongly. "Are you sure? If you can't achieve a small level of skill in 1 month, you have to join me, Wanjiang Pavilion." No strings attached. Chin Mu nodded heavily. "Yes. Then do you want to hurry up and take out the skills?" Hiss. Bai Qingyan really didn't expect the surprise to come so quickly. Simply perfect. Chin Mu was pulled over without any additional conditions. As for the skills, as long as Chin Mu joins, he can learn from it, and he doesn't have to worry about anything. Okay, let's sign the agreement first. Bai Qingyan was so happy that he almost forgot to keep insurance. Chin Mu naturally didn't care. Agreement signed. The exercises were also sent to Chin Mu. Wait, Bai Qingyan immediately blocked the monitoring device in the training room. "Give me your smart number. I need to apply for a special confidentiality agreement." A book of exercises. It is definitely the core resource of a force. Once leaked, with the power of today's internet, it can be spread throughout the Dragon Star in minutes. Okay, you start. Bai Qingyan clapped his hands to get it done, leaned back, fell on the bed with a thud, turned sideways and supported his pretty face with his wrists, looking straight at Chin Mu with a smile in his eyes. Hiss. Damn it. She is a few years older than Ling Qinzu, but the taste is just different. Royal. Sure enough. Chin Mu quickly collected his thoughts. System. Is this skill an excellent level? Yes, it fully embraces the advanced skill of the Mind Master just now. Close black lens bracket. With system guarantee. So why are you hesitating? Let's start practicing. Projection playback. The beginning is a general outline of the mental method. The source of thought power is spiritual consciousness, also called the soul. Tisk tisk. Excellent level skills are just different. The general outline first explains all the core points, and then teaches them by category. The only thing in my mind is divided into 4 chapters. The mind power chapter, the control chapter, the combat chapter, all in one chapter. From the control of telekinesis, to the control of telekinesis weapons, various fighting methods, and finally all telekinesis powers are unified to strengthen the attack. After half a day, Chin Mu started scratching his head. System. Should I learn all of Hei Yi before I can learn level 1 entry level? Open black lens bracket ding. No, you can upgrade directly by using the upgrade points. Close black lens bracket. What the hell? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Chin Mu was furious on the spot. I spent so much effort to learn the basics of telepathy. Why didn't you tell me that I could upgrade directly? Upgrade is the only function of the system. Close black lens bracket. The host learned on his own before, probably because he wanted to save upgrade points, so the system did not prompt. Close black lens bracket. Depend on. I want to save. Am I a frugal person? Qin Mu came back to his senses and thought about it. Well, it seems that I saved 2 upgrade points before. The 18 styles of bloody fighting and the basics of Nianshi did not consume upgrade points. Do you want to consume it now? Let's practice first. If you can learn it before 12 o'clock, won't you really save 1 point? 1 o'clock is also a point. Just after 12 o'clock. Upgrade. Qin Mu didn't hesitate for 1 more second and went straight. Excellent level exercises are really difficult. It's not practiced by humans at all. Open black lens bracket ding. Xin Yan's only upgrade was successful, the current level is 1. Close black lens bracket. Comfortable. Qin Mu took a long breath and found the panel again. Invincible upgrade system. Qin Mu. Upgrade points. 0. Martial arts cultivation. Apprentice level 9. Psychic cultivation level. Second level of ruler. Warrior skills. 18 styles of bloody fighting. Psychic power technique. Basic telekinesis D level ordinary, level 6 unique mind B level excellent, level 1. System. Should I directly upgrade my cultivation to the 9th level of the commander, or even breakthrough to the commander level? Open black lens bracket ding. Level 1 B level skill can support the host's cultivation level to rise to the 1st level of the commander. Close black lens bracket. Then there is no pressure. Qin Mu was ecstatic. Breaking through Dominion makes it stress-free now. It only takes 8 days. Directly the commander-in-chief. If you give it to Judian again, it will be the 9th level of the ruler. Wrong. It should take 5 more days, and the exercises also need to be learned to level 6. Juan. It's that simple. Qin Mu looked at his watch and saw that only half a day had passed since the bet, and he had already secured victory. There are still 18 days until the martial arts conference at the end of the month. I am afraid that the 9th level of the commander is not enough, but with a small amount of skill, there is no pressure to break through to the 3rd or 4th level of the commander. Is that enough? Qin Mu thought in his mind. On the bed. Bai Qingyan chuckled. Little guy, do you know now that the exercises are difficult to practice? Snapped. Bai Qingyan patted the soft bed. Would you like to come up and rest? Hard work is hard work, but you also need to balance work and rest. Ah. Qin Mu shook his head and summoned the green flame flying sword with his backhand. Chua. The flying sword split instantly, and 12 small flying swords of different shapes sprang out. Combine. Qin Mu frowned and shook his head in the air. The 12 flying swords started to combine instantly. The only thing on my mind. It is a technique from the Trial of Dominance. Flying sword. It is also a telepathic weapon from the Trial of Dominance. Learn the exercises, even if it is only level 1. That is also the level at which you have learned how to get started with One Piece. Of course it can be done by uniting mind and power. It's just that he's not as fast or as skilled as Bai Qingyan. Between breaths, the 12 flying swords slowly merged in the air, and a simple-looking flying sword gradually took shape. Bai Qingyan on the bed was stunned, her mouth wide enough to fit a goose egg. How is that possible? Is it fake? While talking, the flying sword has been completely assembled. Chua. Qin Mu made a sword gesture with his fingers and pointed them out at will. The green flame sword instantly cut through the air, bringing out a green flame tail. It feels good. Qin Mu's mind moved and he pointed his sword finger at the boxing equipment in the training room. Flash. The flying sword was extremely fast, making no sound as it broke through the air, leaving only a cyan afterimage in the air. Immediately afterwards, the boxing equipment made a pop sound and penetrated directly. Hiss. So sharp. Qin Mu was slightly surprised. After a few seconds, dee-dee, dee-dee, the boxing equipment makes a beeping sound, indicating that the equipment is damaged. Oops. Excessive force. Qin Mu took back his flying sword and was really ready to get up. Snapped. Bai Qingyan grabbed Qin Mu, with a look in his eyes that showed his worldview had collapsed. You, show me the flying sword. I do not believe. I don't believe that anyone can master the unique version of mindfulness in 1 day. Don't talk about the exclusive version, even if it is the external circulation version, no one can learn it in 1 day. Bai Qingyan stretched out his palm and used his mind power to control the green flame flying sword to float in the air. 12 swords, perfectly integrated. The green flame flying sword is not simply a combination of 12 flying blades. If it were that simple, all manufacturers could make flying swords. The materials, structures, and most importantly, the engraved mind power patterns involved. Only with the magic pattern can the power of mind be unified in the flying sword. And if the mind master cannot unite his mind power, he will encounter great resistance in the flying sword combination, and the deviation caused by a little resistance will cause the combination to fail. Really can. Bai Qingyan already had the answer in his heart when he saw Feijian Guankong. But she really couldn't believe it. He turned to look at Qin Mu. You tried dozens of combinations in one night, but they all ended in failure. Why can you do it this time? Luck. It must be luck. Bai Qingyan handed the flying sword to Qin Mu. You do it again. Qin Mu used his telekinesis to pick it up. Click. The flying sword disintegrated. Immediately, fang fang. The flying sword regrouped in front of Bai Qingyan's eyes, and the speed seemed to be 3 points faster than before. Thump. Bai Qingyan fell down on the bed, feeling bad all over. Is this the world of genius? Damn it. Ever since I was young, I have been considered a genius by everyone. Even his grandfather loved and admired him very much. But now, in the face of Qin Mu's incredible understanding, she felt like an idiot. I first learned the advanced skills of the Nian master for more than half a year, and after a small amount of success, I started to contact the only one of the Nian. It took me more than half a year to reluctantly assemble the flying sword. It took more than a year to practice to a small degree. Only in this way can the flying swords be combined at will to control the 9th level, which is comparable to the 9th level of the Grand Master. There are almost no opponents under the Grand Master. Qin Mu. This young man only used it for 1 day. No, long time. In just half a day, I learned to be single-minded. And still without the foundation of the advanced skills of the Nianxi. Still human. Qin Mu saw that her expression was a little dull and asked, Manager Bai, can I be considered a winner in the bet? What did you say? Bai Qingyan was stunned for a moment before reacting. Bet. This. Bai Qingyan's cheeks turned red. With Qin Mu's talent, a small success in a month. Is it difficult? Yes, but only a little. If you don't admit it, you're just making yourself look bad. But, how could Bai Qingyan let Qin Mu off so easily? This boy is even more talented than he expected, even a peerless genius that surpasses his grandfather. Joke. This kind of genius might really be able to break through the Grand Master within a year and become a man of the hour in Dragon Star. If you don't hurry up now, it will be difficult for you to say a word to him in the future. Ahem. Bai Qingyan adjusted her mood, a smile appeared on her lips, and her eyes suddenly became deep, as if an abyss was tearing Qin Mu's soul apart. Damn it. Soul seducing. Qin Mu was almost dragged into the abyss and quickly collected his thoughts. Bai Qingyan stretched out slowly and hummed quietly. I feel sleepy after a tiring day today, shall we rest first? As for the martial arts, don't be anxious. You must know that now is the time for you to lay the foundation. If the foundation is not stable, your cultivation will be unstable. Sometimes being too diligent is not a good thing. Still stalling. I'll see how long you can delay it. Qin Mu didn't care about her. Manager Bai, let's go to bed first. I still have some areas where I need to practice more. Call Aunt Yan. Bai Qingyan frowned slightly. If you don't want to, you can call me Sister Yan. Qin Mu almost rolled his eyes after hearing this. Need not. Finished coldly. Qin Mu then focused on proficiency and began to think of the only way to fight. You also need to practice a lot with the green flame sword. There are countless changes in actual combat, and the most tragic thing is if you learn it but fail to use it. Bai Qingyan was almost furious when she saw Qin Mu ignoring her. She has begun to doubt herself. In the past, were the warriors and Nianxi around me so crazy in their praise because I was from the Bai family? Actually, my real appearance is ugly. The worldview collapsed. Bai Qingyan was really depressed. Qin Mu practiced all night, while Bai Qingyan lay on the bed and was bored all night. The next day, Guo Yue knocked on the door and came in. As soon as he entered the door, he saw Bai Qingyan lying on the bed, and he immediately shouted loudly in his heart. Shameless. Qin Mu, he is still a child, how could you do this? Director Guo, is there any news on the case? Qin Mu asked. Guo Yue had a question mark on his face. That was a standing meeting of the Warriors Alliance. I'm not a standing member. How could I know? Isn't Supervisor Bai here? She does not know. Oops. When Bai Qingyan saw Guo Yue, he recovered a little. He replied after checking the intelligence. The city lord didn't come back, so the meeting was held online. Qin Mu, since you are the party involved, I will make an exception and let you listen in, but you can't speak. Do you understand? Qin Mu nodded. Guo Yue will definitely stay if he has the chance. The meeting started soon. Bai Qingyan was opposite the two of them, with the projected image facing her, while the other dozen standing members appeared in the projected image. At the top, there is a man with a Chinese character face, a majestic expression, and gray hair on his temples. The background seems to be in the wild. The name and position are displayed next to it. Zhang Hong. The city lord and the director of Zhongcheng Martial Arts Gym. Everyone has seen what happened. Zhang Hong spoke first. Killing people, silencing them, hacking the cloud data, it's simply lawless. What's even more shocking is that Li Chengguang, the warrior management department and the tribunal, dared to accept bribes and forcefully accuse warriors. When did Zhongcheng condone such a beast? Qin Mu was quite surprised after hearing this. The news about Li Chengguang's bribery came out so quickly. Why did Bai Qingyan not tell him? Now is not the time to ask, let's take a look first. Left side, Lin Zhang, director of Boxing Martial Arts Hall. Li Chengguang himself died last night, and the possibility of silence cannot be ruled out. This time, I think we must thoroughly investigate Tianlu Group and its affiliated companies, uncover the hackers, and crack down hard on all the criminals behind it. At the same time, the black market must also be thoroughly investigated. Zheng Zan, general manager of Wencheng Alliance Zhongcheng. Li Chengguang has confirmed that he committed suicide. There is no evidence that he was silenced. Please note, Lord City Lord, that we have not found any conclusive evidence that he accepted bribes. Actually, the case itself is not complicated. It is true that Qin Mu broke into the treatment plant and killed and injured others. Although there was a reason, he was too harsh and the lack of any punishment was obviously unfair. The court's decision was only based on the conditions of the video and did not involve the treatment plant. The complex economic disputes behind it. When Bai Qingyan heard this, he was immediately furious. What does 10,000 Merchants Alliance mean? Do you think the sentence of forcibly installing the crime is legal and reasonable? Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.